Beginning. Okay, well, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Words Make People. A word is anything that brings a message to your mind. And the words you're going to hear today are words you heard before, but a little more clarity on certain subject matters from our County Executive, Dan McCoy. He came back like I asked him to. Like I asked him to come back, and he came back, and he's going to share information with us. It's going to help us get a better understanding of three areas based on what he's responsible for. 1, veterans. 2, seniors. And 3, the youth. So let's get right into it because time do go by fast. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. It does go by fast. I enjoyed my time with you the last time talking politics and getting people out to do the right thing. But let's talk a little about our Veterans Department.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of veterans out in our community. There's over 20,000 veterans in Albany County that call this their home. There's active members, or reservists.
20,000, wow.
Yeah, there's over 20,000 people roughly that have come and lived here in Albany County. So one of the things we did, my predecessor, and I believe it was Mike Hoblock and then Congressman Mike McNulty, they started Honor a Vet. And it's nice. We take a veteran once a month, that's the C's, and we honor that soldier for their service, what they've done in the community. They give a flag. Now, they give a flag that flew over the Capitol.
Sure.
And it's a beautiful program. But then I said, I started hearing these great stories. And I'm like, how'd you know him? How'd you know her? And they're like, oh, I didn't, but they helped me. They did something. They inspired me. So I said, wouldn't it be better to do a living veteran also? So we turned it up a little bit. So we do both. We do a living veteran. Okay. So any veterans out there, or any deceased veterans, family members that want to honor your loved one or your friend or just somebody that inspired you, please go to Albany County website, look at it. And we have a nominating committee that goes through all this, and we pick the veteran of the month. And then same thing with living veteran. Reach out to Mary Rozak in my office, and we'll get that done. But one of the things I want to say, we got return the favor.
Yes, return the favor.
Yes, it's a discount for veterans. Now, the problem is most veterans, you got to show your DD Form 214,
sure.
Right? Or if you got active and reserve members who haven't retired yet and still don't have their DD Form 214,
sure.
You show us your military ID card. We're going to take a picture in our veterans office. You're going to get a card that says Albany County return the favor.
Yes.
And we give you a list of every merchant in Albany County in the Capital District that gives discounts to veterans.
Wow.
And you'd be surprised. Like Lowe's and Home Depot, yes, you got to be active. You got to have your military card. These stores participate. You'd be surprised. Some of the stores you walk into, you just show them that card, and they give you, some, it ranges from 2, some go up to 18% off.
Excellent.
So that's another good thing we do. When we do education, we put out a newsletter every other week, what's going on. We help veterans connect to their benefits. So a lot of veterans don't realize there's things you're entitled to, especially the Marines at Camp Lejeune.
Sure.
Hearing, if because the earplugs they used for the last 80 years didn't work.
Wow.
So there's a lawsuit for that. And there's a lot of benefits through the VA that you're entitled to, and we want to make sure we want to connect you.
Yes.
We want to cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure you get everything you're entitled to. And if you need assistance, and here's the biggest thing, like you see on the streets for a lot of homeless people say, hey, I'm a veteran. I go up and talk to them. And most of the time they're not, because a lot of veterans got a lot of pride.
Yes.
And they're afraid to ask for services. They're afraid to say I have PTSD or I'm suicidal, whatever it may be. Don't be. You're entitled. You served our country. Raise your right hand and you sign that dotted line that you're willing to give up your life for this country.
That's right.
And I want to remind your viewers, out of roughly 335 million Americans, less than 1% don that uniform. Less than 1%.
Wow.
For the freedoms to believe in whatever God we want to believe in.
Yes.
To live however we want to live our life. To agree to disagree with our neighbors.
Yes.
Veterans did that for you. And we owe them. Now it's our time to support veterans and help them out. So please go to our website. And you'll see that. I know you're a veteran too, so I want to thank you for your service.
We heard about the new increase in benefits that's starting in January.
Yep.
I just got my letter day for yesterday in the mail of how it's going to increase. And so this is excellent to hear. That you have these services for benefits. They can go anywhere from 2 to 18% in discounts or benefits that veterans may not know about. And if they can't get them through the DD 214. 518-779-5893. We'll help you get that because your DMV should have veterans on top of it. Wherever you may go, they'll ask. I go to Lowe's, I go to Home Depot. They say you're a veteran. I show them it's right on top of the driver's license, you know, to give you a 10% discount automatically, you know. So this is excellent. I'm glad to see when I went online last week after you were here 2 weeks ago, and I saw all the things that you have on there for veterans, you know, and so I was just very impressed to know that you should take advantage of these opportunities that's available to veterans and look at how we can assist veterans, friends, relatives, neighbors, cousins, those that you may know, so that we can get them what they need, you know, and so
absolutely
they did a service for us. We want to show our appreciation and do the service for veterans as well, too. Excellent. So
we can talk a little bit about Department of Aging. And there's over 55,000 seniors here in Albany County. Things had to be, you know, our world changed, right? We had to reimagine how things were going in our world, and you know, services became a problem. We got conjoined sites for food. We set up throughout Albany County, so seniors have an opportunity that meet a certain criteria. But not even that. We do. I'll say this: if you're lonely, please just show up. If you want to socialize, show up. We're not turning you away. And the thing I've gotten out of this, going to these sites where the seniors meet, sometimes that's the only time once a month they meet somebody. They actually have interaction with another human. And I hate to say it that way, and especially after
it's the
COVID.
truth, though.
Yeah,
it's reality.
Yeah, and after COVID, it was tough on people. Not seeing people, their mental health.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity, and then we also have that opportunity to really assess them, to say, hey, do they need medical, you know, or are they looking frail? Stuff getting done. So it's really great connect. Deborah Tano and her team at Aging do a phenomenal job. We did the cards where seniors can use their food cards instead of just going to certain places. We got great restaurants they can go to, and their select menu foods was a huge hit on that. Legislator Wanda Willingham loved it. She was like, this is great. You know, these are the type of programs to make people feel like, hey, you're not pulling out an EBT card, or you're not saying, well, I can't eat there, I can only eat at these certain places. And again, it's about going out with your friends, and they want to, hey, I'm going to you know, Mertel's at Capitol Hills, right? And they go to Mertel's restaurant, and they can use that card at different times. And we set it up, so don't hold me to the different restaurants. These are the ones we used in the past. But again, there's a lot of things we connect with. We have ISIT, that basically helps people that might not qualify for Medicaid and Medicare, different programs. Have people just come in and help do laundry or do house cleaning a little bit. So again, there's a lot of
camaraderie, something, you know?
And there's a lot of, you know, thank goodness the adult daycares are starting to open up again. For seniors to go to for the day.
That's right.
Other services are starting to open up. But again, people had to reimagine what the world was going to after like this time frame where we're stuck in, right?
Absolutely.
And again, one of the things we have noticed is really talking to Dr. Giordano and them is really talking about how this has really affected seniors' mental ability, right?
Of course.
And to everyone it was. But to somebody that was really closed in even longer, it was hard. It was hard.
Especially with the help, because seniors, you know, they're more liable to go under if in fact, you know, they have COVID or whatever it may be, you know, so they need some assistance and they need someone to be there for them. In our organization, we try to help those that's about to lose their home through foreclosure. Because many times, you know, they want to help their children. They take out a loan, the children don't pay them back, and the next thing you know, this is a dream come true for them to have a white picket fence on their home, and next thing you know, they can't afford. And it's a good thing I understand now. It takes 2 years before foreclosure takes place in the state of New York, you know, so they can go through some process or whatever it may be. And many times, you know, they may be older, but they may want to get another home if they lose this home, but they can't if in fact they foreclose because they get a bad credit rap, and it's going to be on their credit for 7 years. So we try to help with those that we can help them save their credit by getting someone to buy their home, where they're not going to make a profit because they can't make a profit, but to save their credit. And doing that, they're 65 or 60 years old, you know, so 62 years old, and just retired, whatever it may be. It assists them. Is there programs that they have in the county where they can assist them with foreclosures and things of this nature?
Yeah, you know, listen, our finance division run by our budget director, Dave Riley, and then you know, they really do work with you. You know, if you have an issue, please come on in. They'll try to work with you, make payments, plans, try to catch you up.
Excellent.
We understand. Listen, the last thing we want to do in government is go in and foreclose on you. And basically kick you out of your house, right?
And that's why they give them 2 years is to try to do something within that time
we really try to work with them. And again, I don't want to put words, like show words in people's mouth, but Senator Breslin and Assemblyman McDonald and Assemblywoman Pat Fahey and all, we got great delegates that really, look, they we want to speed up the process to get things back on there, but also have the human connection that we want to make sure
that's key.
That we take care of the people. And I got to say, talking to the three of them and working to figure this out, how we can do this.
That human,
that human touch, and then keep someone there. So that's what we're doing.
Sure.
And talking about that, our Albany County nursing home for years was not where it should have been. It was a pet peeve of mine when I was in the legislature. It was when I first became county executive. We just did a $90 million remod.
Wow.
I'll say if you have a loved one that needs rehab, you got a loved one that's going to a nursing home, please come look at our nursing home. It's gorgeous. We actually just celebrated 2 birthdays there, people that turned over 100. The staff out there is phenomenal, second to none. I'm going to say that. Great people out there.
Beautiful.
But the place is a home now.
Yes.
And I used to hate walking through that place, and I felt it was like an institution, right?
Sure.
Now it's a home.
Yeah.
Because people are going there, and it's the end of care. They're at the, they're there for certain reasons, and families come in. Now, we got fireplaces, we got rocking chairs, we got beautiful places outside.
Wow.
And you can really enjoy your time visiting your loved one.
You got to appreciate that,
But also, when you leave, you'll know they're taken care of.
That's right.
And that's all that
you have that good feeling.
Right.
It's like customer service. That kind of customer service, you're going to come back and know that your loved one is being taken care of properly. And they're not going to be oversighted by anything that's going on that's not going to give them the assistance that they need. So that's really excellent. So I think that our seniors, they're up there with veterans. You know what I mean? They did a lot. Our mothers, they did a lot. They went through a whole lot to do what they had to do to help get it to a point where we got out of high school, went to college, and they stayed with us, the whole distance, And so I'm just excited that we have services in the county here, especially Albany County, like nowhere else. And a lot of other places throughout other counties.
You are correct. Or they cap a lot of it. Some programs we have to, but listen. You bring up a good point, like, words, and we talk words, and I always say this to my kids. I used to hate it because now you can Google everything, right? I would challenge them, and then I hear, and I'm like, no, that's not knowledge. That's not knowing stuff. You're just, what happens if you don't have that little phone in your hand, right? I will say this to your viewers, and I'll challenge
they correct you out on the phone, right?
They do. You can't even finish the statement now with them, right? And they just jump on you, and I'm like, whatever. I stop, right? But I said to my kids, and I say to everyone, right? You know what? You really want to learn something? Don't look it up in the computer. Don't look it up on your phone.
Yeah.
Sit at the feet of a senior and talk to them about their life experience.
Yeah.
Especially, the older ones that are there, 80, 90, or 100, that lived through generations before there were cell phones, before there was landlines, before you had cable TV or you had Xbox. And really just see how life was, right?
Excellent point.
And how technology changed their lives for the good and for the bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Excellent point.
And one thing I do want to say, that's why Albany County was named the 100 age-friendly community in the United States by the World Health Organization in 2016.
Excellent.
We're doing great work with a partnership with the Albany County Legislature, working with our partners, work with Sheriff Apple all the time. And Bruce Haley, our great county clerk, Sue Rizzo, our county controller, is doing great jobs, driving me a little crazy at times, but doing a good job.
But you make a very good point, though, because when you say, sit at the table and talk with them, we have a program where we take young people to the Veterans Hospital.
Yeah.
Just to look. They have a conversation now, and you see guys going in there, wheelchairs, on crutches, back and forth every day, coming from all various counties, coming there, being dropped off to get assistance because healthcare, because of what they went through during war or after war or whatever it may be. And have opportunity to actually speak with them about some of the things they went through. Oh, it can change your mind and have you thinking a little bit differently, as you stated. They don't tell you that on Google. They don't tell you that on Instagram. They don't tell you that on Facebook, but they'll go have a conversation 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes to hear what they have to say and what they did and how they sacrificed and left their families behind to go to war and actually understand what they saw and what they did. They saw their friends die. They saw things being blown up and things of this nature. But to be able to communicate with them to understand how and where they are psychologically today and how they survived it is important, just like you stated with seniors. That's why we work with seniors to help write booklets. Not a book, a booklet, something that can help give us some insight and inspire us how to be a better parent, how to be a better grandparent, you know what I mean? So we work with them, and we have an agency over on 255 Orange Street where they do printing, and just to get those that want to give us some insight on how to share knowledge to help us understand and appreciate parents, mothers, in particularly. Fathers as well too, but more so mothers and what they went through while veterans were away, while veterans were at war, and all the things they had to lock down on and be diversified in what they were doing, So you bring a good point up when you say, sit down and talk with a senior and see what they have to say about what they went through, And that's why we share with our audience, appreciate mother, appreciate how you got to where you are. You look in the mirror, you see who you are right now, who helped you get there. Regardless, whatever issues they might have had, who helped you get to where you are right now. And you should never say, anything bad to your parents. Turn your face around, go talk to somebody else, but never make them feel bad about anything.
I totally agree with you, and it's one of them things that I get, it's a pet peeve of mine. I get really mad. Listen, there's a lot of rock stars, athletes. They do extraordinary things. They're extraordinary in their field, right?
Yeah.
And they inspire us, either to get into certain music or play a certain sport. But the problem I have is that when kids start to idolize them, thinking that's how I have to be. And I always say, look at your neighbor. Look at the person that inspired you. Whether it was just simply taking someone's trash out. Or bringing their groceries in. Or mowing their lawn or shoveling their sidewalks or just being there to help them out and checking on them.
That's right.
To me, that's what inspired me growing up in the South End of Albany, right? Was neighbors that took care of one another, right? It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the fancy car.
That's right.
It was about people that inspired you. And it's like when you read that first book. And it changed your outlook, or that teacher challenged you to look at something differently. Because believe me, I was one of them students that challenged the teachers all the time, and not in a good way. But I had teachers that dug in and they made me think differently. And they're just like, no, look what this look what you can do by inspiring people.
That's right.
And that's why I say to these kids, don't let anyone tell you can't do something extraordinary.
That's
don't let anyone tell you this is all you can be in life.
That's
Prove them wrong. Actions are louder than words in this case. And I can assure you this, just because you get in a fight and you win doesn't mean you're right. Right? And I always say that. I used to say that to my kids, look it, you want to solve a fight, you can do it by a pen, simply, or you can do it by this.
That's the greatest weapon.
And when you use this up here,
that's right.
And you talk around somebody and they don't realize you just won that battle without throwing a fist, that's a win.
Absolutely. And so when we recognize that, and I recognize the pen, and once the ink dries, it's a done deal. And you reminded me, for the last 13 years, I've been putting the garbage can out for my neighbor because she can't come out and put it out. Every week I put it out. So this things like that, just remind you of things that you can do that can help a senior to be able to say, I appreciate you because you can't get out and do it yourself. I'm going to assist and help and get it done for you. You know, so little things like that there goes a long way.
It really does. And again. I always joke with my kids. I go, erasers. Why did God create erasers? To erase your mistakes in life, right?
That's right.
And I, look. Someone asked me one time, would I go back and change anything? No, because you can't go back. But what I could do is learn from the mistakes.
That's right. I made
that made me who I am today.
Yes, that's right.
That's why you got to look at it, and that's why when you look at somebody who did their time in jail or whatever it might have been, or did something stupid. Did they learn from it?
That's right.
That's the
Don't
key.
go back there no more.
You can't go back there because you can't go back upstream, right?
That's
you can only go forward.
Be a better person.
Be a better person. Learn from it and inspire other people not to try to make mistakes. But sometimes them kids or adults got to make them stupid mistakes in order to realize, hey, life's about I got to change, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And I can help other people. And if you can't help other people, at least just help yourself be a better person, right?
And this is why we use those that's been to jail, came out, got shot up, went back to jail, came back out, to reutilize them to speak to the young people out here and say, look, I went to jail, I came back out, got shot up, now I'm crippled, I went back to jail, now I'm coming back. I'm trying to tell you right now, the way you're going right now is not the way to go. So you're absolutely correct when you say, use the experience that you've had for a better and a positive way.
Absolutely.
So, our youth, you want to allow?
So Parks and Recreation, we had this great program with AAU. We broke away, right? And I'm not knocking all these different organizations, but it's about money. My dad and a variety of other people got together, started Omni Pop Warner Football, right? One of the founding fathers. And it was about volunteering, giving back to your kids.
Yeah.
And now what has happened, it's turned into a $1 billion industry. And I don't like what I see. Like, kids can't afford it. Even, it's not just the poor kids, it's middle income.
Sure.
You know, you're paying $1,500 to play 6 weeks, 1 hour a day, or you got to have the $1,000 sneakers, or you can't play hockey because the skates cost $1,000 or the equipment costs $1,500.
Yeah.
So we want to change that model.
Sure.
Right? So our new Justin Atlas, our new Commissioner of Parks and Rec, we are changing it up.
Great.
And we broke away. We're doing our own self-insurance. We're setting our platform, and we're underwriting everything now.
Excellent.
So, like, you know, when we start doing karate, we got your gis. You start doing sports, we're going to help pay for that, right?
Wow.
And
Excellent.
we're going to make sure you got insurance to be covered. But more importantly, not everyone plays soccer or
Sure.
basketball or pickleball, which is big
Sure.
now, or volleyball. Or track.
Right.
We do chess club. We're doing e-gaming now. That's huge. E-gaming's really huge now. So we're giving these kids an opportunity to compete in a different way.
Yes.
And be part of a team. So, you know, like you sit there and you're like, well, how do you connect the dots? And how do they feel
Sure.
like that team feeling when you're
That's
playing
right.
basketball
That team effort.
or
That's
hockey
right.
or
Yep.
whatever sport it might be?
Sure.
When, you know, lacrosse, well, arena football. But you're doing that with e-gaming and other sports,
Yes.
chess, and we're doing the same thing, changing the messaging,
Excellent.
but giving a foundation for these children for
Yes.
the future. And I want to say this to your viewers: 99.9% of these kids aren't going to play professional anything.
Right.
So families, I want to say, I know we hope, we wish. You know what you do? You make sure they get, if they're a great athlete, make sure they get a great education, go to a great college, and to get, you know, any college to get an education. And if they graduate with a college degree,
Sure.
it's more important than them going to the pros or having
Absolutely.
a foundation they can take care of themselves for the rest of their
Absolutely.
life.
Couldn't have been said better. And that's what's important to understand. Don't put your hopes and aspirations in them being a professional and becoming number one like those that's out there, whether it's a Jordan or LeBron or Curry or whoever it may be. Utilize the opportunity that you have right now to have fun, to
Right.
enjoy life, to be appreciative that you are able to now to go and do certain things. Because my son, you know, he kayaking, baseball, football,
Yep.
but right now, none of them no more, you know. So
Yeah.
at the time, it was good, you know. He had an opportunity to learn it because he wanted to do it. Didn't want to get into soccer and other things that's happening right now. But they have to be able to choose themselves to find out what their passion is. And this is what we do. We help individuals, once we understand what their passion is, and the best way we find out what their passion is, we put them in environments.
Yes.
You like politics? We put you into politics.
Yep.
We have an 18-year-old now that's became the first mayor in Arkansas.
Wow.
18-year-old. Now,
See that? You
he's
can make a difference.
elected as mayor, 18-year-old.
That's huge. That's huge.
He became mayor. He's going to be sworn in January.
Yep.
And now he's calling all the other mayors in Arkansas to find out, how do you be a mayor?
Right. Be
But he's
yourself
18 years
and
old.
stay to the people.
That's
and you'll
right.
be all right.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever got him there or her there, you said, I don't know. If
Yeah,
he got him there.
That's right.
there. You know what? That's what people like. Right?
That's
they
right.
just voted that young congressman in down in Miami, right?
Yes.
26 years
26 years old.
And New Millennium to sit there and go, you know what? Here's a problem when we stop listening as politicians, when we stop listening to people and forget, like people always go to me, how's it feel to be your own boss? You're in charge of this big county, your budget's $760 million. And I go, well, one, my boss is at my house, my wife. I go, but more importantly, you know, I work for the 320,000 people in Albany County.
There you go.
So it's what you want. It's not
That's
what
right.
I want. Like, I have a vision. I know what I want to do
Sure.
and where I want to go, and we go that way. But I also go and listen to people. I walk down the streets. I go to Arbor Hill, Crank Park, Queens Ravina, Bird Knox Restaurant,
Yeah.
and I go and I just listen.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We sometimes, and I'll say this to kids, we don't listen.
Yeah.
We want to talk. We want to talk about us. We want to say that, and you don't take the time to go, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
And I go, hey, Mary, got a grandkid, nice seeing you, and you walk away, right? And instead of just listening and saying, what's affecting you in life?
That's right.
What would be the game changer for you? And what are we, look, and saying this, don't be afraid to fail.
That's right.
Do not be afraid.
That's right.
You know, I don't like to fail. Trust me. I got
Sure.
the ego thing going where I want to
Sure.
be successful. But I'm not afraid to stand there in front of 10,000 people and go, look, what I tried didn't work. But what we've been doing is not
Yeah.
working.
That's right.
So if you
Gotta be
don't
something
change,
else.
right? If you
That's
don't
right.
change it, and you keep doing the same programs, the same things we've been doing for 60 years,
Sure.
it's not going to work.
Well, as you stated, in the word learn, this is words make people, is the word earn. And the word earn is the word ear. You have to give an ear in order to earn how to learn. So you have to listen, because in the word listen is the word list, L-I-S-T. In the word listen is the word 10. Think 10 times before you speak. That means don't always want to just talk because you got lips. Be able to listen, hear what's going on, hear and how, as you just stated, let's change the dynamic, because what's been happening in the past is not working. Mm-hmm. Let's see how we can improve upon a systematic way of going about understanding. It's about human excellence. Not black excellence, white excellence, Chicano excellence, Italian excellence. It's about human excellence. Everyone has a contribution to make to be able to make it better for all humans. And so that's why hopefully we're going to get you to come back, because we're going to talk about that big budget you just passed, and that's not on the agenda for today. And that's a huge budget.
It is. If you can almost take every budget in this county and it just barely touches ours. But we have a lot of things that we do, a lot of services your viewers are probably not aware of. That's why I'm glad you had me come back. And I do enjoy it.
Yeah, we have to get you back again, because just talking about these three today.
Yeah,
and you giving a highlight last time.
Yeah, this is just a touch of the iceberg, right? And,
absolutely.
But you inspire people, and hopefully someone walks away, whether it be a child,
yes,
be it a senior or someone in their 40s, 50s, or 60s,
that's
or
right.
30s.
That's right.
If you touch one person's life, that's what it's about, and that's what you got to look at.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our time always go out so fast, and just the three things we talked about. So we're going to get you to come back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm going to get with your boss. Your boss is Mrs.
Mary
Rose.
It is.
She does all your planning.
She does. She's my gatekeeper.
She makes it happen for you, So
sometimes I come and I go, whoa, how did I end up here, Mary?
And if you don't listen to her, you in trouble.
I am.
Be assured of that, because I don't care whether you call her husband or not. She gonna make sure she knows what she's responsible for, because the criteria for her job description is to make sure she keep you focused and keep you going.
She keeps me going forward. Unwillingly at times, she keeps me going forward.
And she's always on time. Be assured of that there.
She was a minute late today.
A minute?
A minute late today.
She couldn't get in the door because there's a telephone number she had to call because the bell didn't work. We got to tell her how to find out that we get a battery in the doorbell so we can get it to work. So she would have been here, But a minute is good, though. Dan, it's always a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Season greetings to you and your family.
Yes.
Hopefully we get you back after the new year,
that'd be
because
nice.
It's already today, the 14th already. I'm gonna try to get you back before that. So it could be some breaks and things of this nature. So
and I got some great announcements. I got my State of My County coming up. Stay tuned. There's going to be some really exciting things going on, and I hopefully in the next couple of months I get to, and I'm saying this the first time publicly.
Good.
Make a huge announcement. I'm trying to make this work, and if it works, it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people.
Excellent, and we're looking forward to hear it. Hopefully we'll hear it as well too, to let our audience know. Our time is up. Thank you for tuning in today. Dan McCoy, the county executive here, and we're looking forward to making progress in the future years that's coming. Thank you very much. May God's peace be unto you. Season greetings. Assalamu alaikum.